I grew up in a small village in Nigeria. Life was simple, and everyone knew everyone. My family wasn't rich, but we lived comfortably. One day, my father decided to hire a housemaid. Her name was Aisha. She seemed kind and hardworking, and my parents were happy with her work. But soon, strange things started happening. It began with small things. My mother's favorite jewelry went missing. At first, she thought she misplaced it, but we never found it. Then, food started disappearing from the kitchen. My mother would cook, and by the next morning, it was gone. We had no explanation, but we didn't think much of it. One night, I woke up to the sound of footsteps. It was late, and the whole house was quiet, so the sound was clear. I thought it was my father, but when I peeked out of my room, I saw Aisha walking down the hallway. She was carrying something in her hand, something that looked like a small bag. I followed her quietly, trying not to make any noise. She went to the backyard and dug a small hole near the fence. I watched her place the bag inside the hole and cover it with dirt. I was too scared to ask her what she was doing, so I went back to my room and tried to sleep. The next morning, I told my mother what I saw. She didn't believe me at first, but when she checked the spot in the backyard, she found the bag. Inside were pieces of my mother's missing jewelry, some bones, and what looked like strands of hair. My mother was terrified. She didn't say anything to Aisha, but I could see she was shaken. That evening, my father came home, and my mother told him everything. He called Aisha into the living room and asked her about the bag. At first, she denied everything, but when my father showed her the bag, her face changed. She started crying and begged for forgiveness. She said she had been using the items for protection against evil spirits, that someone had cursed our family, and she was trying to help. But my parents didn't believe her. They fired her immediately and told her never to come back. After Aisha left, the strange events stopped. My mother's missing items never returned, but the house felt lighter, less tense. I never saw Aisha again, but the memory of that night stayed with me. It made me realize how easily we can be deceived, even by those we trust the most.